Act 1. Jerusalem Launchpad. Jesus ascends to heaven, giving the disciples one job: wait for power and share the good news. They hold a quick election to replace Judas with Matthias. Pentecost. A roaring wind blows in, flames rest on everyone's heads, and they start speaking every language on the planet. Peter preaches a blockbuster sermon, and 3,000 people join the movement in a single day. Peter and John heal a man who couldn't walk, causing a massive scene. The religious authorities arrest them, but an angel literally busts them out of jail. Meanwhile, Ananias and Sapphira try to fake their charitable giving and drop dead on the spot. To handle food distribution, they appoint 7 deacons, including Stephen. Stephen preaches a blistering speech, recounting Israel's entire history to the religious leaders. They get so mad they stone him, marking the first Christian martyr. Watching coats nearby is a fiery young Pharisee named Saul. Act 2. Plot twist and expansion. Persecution scatters the believers, which backfires for their opponents because they just take the message everywhere they go. Philip travels to Samaria, performs miracles, and baptizes a high-ranking Ethiopian official on a desert road. Saul, the church's biggest enemy, is riding to Damascus to arrest believers when a blinding light knocks him down. Jesus asks, "Why are you persecuting me?" Saul goes blind for 3 days, gets healed by Ananias, and flips from chief persecutor to the ultimate missionary. Peter has a bizarre vision of a sheet full of unclean animals lowered from heaven. God tells him, "Do not call anything impure that God has made clean." Message received. Gentiles, non-Jews, are officially included. Peter preaches to a Roman centurion named Cornelius, and the Spirit hits them too. The headquarters expands north to Antioch, where believers are first called Christians. King Herod Agrippa I executes the Apostle James and throws Peter in jail, but another angel breaks Peter out. Shortly after, Herod accepts praise as a god and gets eaten by worms. Act 3. The world tour begins. Antioch sends out Paul, Saul, and Barnabas across Cyprus and Galatia. In Lystra, locals try to worship Paul as Mercury/Hermes after a healing. Paul tells them to stop. The same crowd then turns around and stones Paul, leaving him for dead. He walks it off and keeps preaching. Big debate in Jerusalem. Do Gentile converts need to follow the full law of Moses and get circumcised to be saved? The leaders gather, debate, and conclude. No. Grace is for everyone. No unnecessary hoops required. Paul teams up with Silas and Timothy. In Philippi, Paul and Silas are beaten and jailed. They sing hymns at midnight, an earthquake shatters the prison chains, and they end up baptizing their jailer. In Athens, Paul delivers a famous speech at the Areopagus about their unknown God. In Corinth, Paul sets up shop for 18 months, making tents and planting a thriving community. Paul moves to Ephesus for 3 years. The gospel spreads so effectively that local idol makers lose business, triggering a full-scale city riot. In Troas, a young man named Eutychus falls asleep during Paul's late-night sermon, drops out of a 3rd-story window and dies. Paul goes downstairs, hugs him back to life, and then goes right back to preaching until dawn. Paul gathers the Ephesian elders, gives an emotional farewell, and heads toward Jerusalem, knowing trouble awaits him next.